A good Bach, or as they say in the vernacular, a guten Winter, right? Should be zeichet to have a healthy and happy year. Our tefillah should be answered, and onward in Bava Basra. So we're up to a Kufchaf Aleph Amid Beis. I started it the other day, but let's begin going again. Iboilahu. Eretz Yisrael, the bottom line. Eretz Yisrael is Shvatim Iflug. Was it divided to the Shvatim, 12 equal chalakim? It was according to the heads of the people, it was divided up. So in other words, each person got a portion, or no, 12 Shvatim got a portion, and then each of the Shvatim subdivided among themselves. Says Gemara Tashma, it says Bein Rav Lima'at. The pasuk says that Al Pi Kagorel Techolek Nachlasai, according to the Pi Agorel divided Nachla, Bein Rav Lima'at. Now, if it was going according to the specific person, guys, what's Rav Ma'at? There's no shaykhis, right? Every person's getting. So if there's a lot of people or little people from a shevet, each person's getting equally. So what does Rav Ma'at mean? Whether there are many people in the shevet or few people in the shevet, right? You're dividing it up equally. So if it's a shevet with a small amount of people, each person would get a bigger expanse of land. If it was a larger shevet, each person would get a smaller expanse of land. A raya to the tzad that Eretz Yisrael was divided according to the shvatim. For oid Tanya, another brisa that substantiates this din, this hara. Asida Eretz Yisrael shetischalik l'shloisha eser shvatim. Lasa lava in the future, b'Mashiach, we're going to go ahead and divide Eretz Yisrael into 13 chalakim. We'll figure out in a second who the 13th was. And Leineschalka el l'shneim asa shvatim. Leineschalka, it's divided up to the 12 shvatim. Leineschalka el b'kesef. Now the havamina is the shevet that's larger will have to give compensation to the shevet that's smaller. They'll have to give compensation. Shenemar bein Rav Lema'at. Rav Yehuda. What's an example of that? You'd have to go ahead and satisfy the other person by giving them a monetary compensation. Is saw Yehuda shava chamesh slayim begalol. One saw of land in Yehuda would be equal to 5 in Galil. So therefore, the people in Yehuda would have to go ahead and compensate the people in Galil. This is a havamina. This is a havamina, guys. And it's divided only through a goyrel. Shenemar ach begoyrel. Right? It says lashon ach only with the goyrel. And it's only a schalik through the urim v'tumim. Shenemar al pi hagoyrel. Through pi hagoyrel. So you have a bit of a dichotomy over here. On one hand, you're telling me it's only through the goyrel, and then it says al pi hagoyrel, masha al pi through the pi, literally the mouth of the urim v'tumim. Now, first of all, what was the urim v'tumim? The urim v'tumim was a piece of parchment that was placed in between the fold of the ephod and the choshen. And it went ahead and you'd ask it questions and it would tell you, usually only the melech can ask from it, or mishat sibet sarich, or the av bezdin, and you'd ask it specific things. There's a Gemara in Yuma, Machlokes in Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan, exactly how it worked. Did the letters light up, or did the letters go down and form an actual word? But nonetheless, it did tell you the future. So it's going to be fascinating what happens over here, guys. They're going to call up. They ask the Urim V'Tumim. The Urim V'Tumim is going to say, you have one box that had the names of the Shvatim. The other box had the names of the parcels of land. The Urim V'Tumim would go ahead and say, Shevet A, parcel 5, right? Then that would call it out. That Shevet A would come up. He'd pick out of the Goyrel box the Shevet, and lo and behold, it would be his. He'd pick out of the Tchumen box, and lo and behold, it would be 5. In other words, the Goyrel, Pia Goyrel, the Urim V'Tumim foreshadowed exactly what's going to transpire, which was crucial. Because again, this is forever and ever the stay achuza of these people. Your shevet gets this part of land, and therefore people could have complaints if they didn't get what? Any goyrel is potluck, correct? Any goyrel. We spoke about Achan and Achan's complaining to Yeshua that you're going to become a caption with a goyrel. I said, you and Moshe Rabbeinu the Gedolei Adar. You put you in a goyrel, you and Elazar. One's going to be guilty. So the goyrel has its since it's mikra, it has a certain, way of limitations that people can question it. That something's got to come out of the box. Something's got to come out of the box. So by using the Urim v'Tumim as a means of ascertaining what's coming out of the box and foreshadowing it, and then telling us the exact parcel of land, this would go ahead and ensure that no people would go ahead and question the Urim v'Tumim whatsoever. Right? No people question the Urim v'Tumim whatsoever. Good. Just 1 second. Okay, Kenny, Kuf Chaf Beis Amid Aleph. Okay, so now we're answering how is it possible Ach B'Goyrel and Alpia Goyrel, and I just told you how it's going to work. Kate side, how does that work? Alasa Maluvish Orim B'Tumim. Alasa would wear the Orim B'Tumim. Yeshua B'Chol Yisrael Oindim Lefanav. Yeshua and all the Kal Yisrael would stand in front of him. The Kalpi Shel Shvatim, the Kalpi Shel Tchumim Munachim Lefanav. There'd be a box with the Shvatim's name in it and a box with the Chumim's names in it. V'Hayim Mechavim Beruach HaKodesh. V'Omer Zvulin Oila Tchum Akoy. Oila Imoit Teref and Zvulin Oila Tchum and Oila Tchum Akoy Oila Imoit. Tarif Bekalpi Shel Shvatim. V'Ola B'Yadei Zvulin. Tarif Bekalpi Shel Tchumim. V'Ola B'Yadei Tchum Akoy. They speak as not Akoy Mamish. V'Chayzim Mechavim Beruach HaKodesh. V'Omer Naftali Oila L'Tchum Ginoiser Oila Imoit. Tarif Bekalpi Shel Shvatim, V'Ola B'Yadai Naftali, Tarif Bekalpi Shel Tchumim, V'Ola B'Yadai Tchum Ginaiser. V'chein Kol Shevet V'Shevet. Every single Shevet, this would happen. Again, this is to ensure that there'd be no questions whatsoever. There'd be no questions whatsoever concerning. They would know that it's true. Take a look at the Rashbam guys. You know what? It's not fair because some people are driving. Okay, Hesh, take a look at the Rashbam. V'hoyu mechavin Baruch HaKodesh. Kloimar, Borim V'Tumim, 3 lines down from when it gets wide. Shesholim Tchila Borim V'Tumim, Koidim Sheyitrav HaMamuna B'Kalpi, U'B'kach Miskara Daita Shel Yisrael, and that would go ahead and Miskara, calm down the Das of Yisrael. Sheroyin Shagoyel Holoya Kimosh, and is Navet Tchila, that the girl will come out just like the Nevuah of Elazar. V'yoidim Shechaluka Yishorahi, and they know that the Chaluka is Yashar. V'lahoyu Maranim B'Davar, Hashvatim, Merubim, and they wouldn't go ahead and question. The larger Shvatim wouldn't question. Shnei Kalpi Hoya, they had to. Okay, so the bottom line is that this is the purpose of this, to do this way, was to make sure that each person, each Shevet, the people would be quiet and accept it. Okay, continuing the Brisa, right? Continuing the Brisa, first white line. The Chalukah of the next world in Olam Haba is not like the Chalukah in Olam Hazeh. Why is that? Right. That Adam Yeshlei Sod Olam is Olam in this world. Adam Sheish Stay Lavan. He has to field the crops of grain. And like Sod Pardes, he may not have Ilanos. Sod Pardes and like Sod Lavan. If he has a Pardes in the orchard, he doesn't have what? A Stay Lavan. However, in Olam Haba, not each and every individual. You're going to have in the mountains, in the valleys. Shnemar Shar Ruvain Echad, Shar Yehuda Echad. They're all equal. The Shar of Ruvain is equal to the Shar of Yehuda. Shar Levi Echad. They're all equal. Everyone's going to get proportionally the same. And what? It's not going to have the Urim V'Tumim making the Chalukah. But Kodesh Baruch Hu Mechalek Lehem. Kodesh Baruch Hu himself is being Mechalek. Shnemar Ve'ela Mechalkoisam Om Hashem. And so says Hashem. This is the Chalukah. Shebetchilu Lo Niskalka Elo L'Shnei Maseh Ketani Mias. Nonetheless, we learned Shebetchilu Lo Niskalka Elo L'Shnei Maseh Shvatim. Shmamino L'Shvatim Iflug Shmamino. So long-winded Brisa, and we push it to one line of the Brisa that it was Al Yedei the Goyrel that they were in 12 Shvatim, and that tells us 12 Shvatim. So it was divided according to Shvatim, not according to the individual. Amamar. Now we're going back over the Brisa to explain parts of the Brisa. In the future, right? Olam Haba, Ma'asim Shiach, Olam Haba, it will be divided in 13 chalakim. Idach Laman. Now, Bishlam of the 12 goes to the Shvatim. Who does the 13th go? Rav Chisda Nasi. The Rashbam says to the Melech HaMashiach. Goes to the Melech HaMashiach, the Siv. That's the Nasi who works for the Tzibur. Yavduha. They'll give him a nachla. Mikol Shiftei Yisrael. So you see that the 13th chelik is going to go to the king, Melech HaMashiach. Amir Papal Abaya, Ema Runga Ba'alma. How do you know they're giving the king a nachla in land. Maybe they're giving him just servants, giving him workers. It says Muloi Sal Kedaitach Tichsiv, Vanoisel and Nasi Mizel Mizeh. After the mischalik, they divide up each shavit, whatever's left over will be given to the Nasi, Chumas HaKodesh, or to the place of the Beis HaMikdash, or Lachuzas Se'ir, or a chutz from the place of the air. So it says Lumas Chalakim Nasi, so we see the Nasi gets the chelik. For in the it's divided by money. So why did we say earlier? We said the Havamina was that the one who got better quality of land would compensate the one who doesn't. So says the Gemara. The Gemara is going to throw us off right away. Shenemar bein rav lema'at. Now lemai. What does it mean that you mischalik, you go ahead and appease them with money? If you're going to tell me that what the kavana is that the person who got good karka will go ahead and give compensation for the person who got poor karka. Are we dealing with fools? So here you have what? You have your chalukah forever. This is forever. So this guy gets idios and this guy gets iburius. So whatever monetary compensation he gives, it can't go ahead and make up for a lifetime, not more than a lifetime of inferior land. It doesn't make any sense. It can't mean that you're going to compensate a person with money because he got inferior land. No person's going to do that. The person will say, "I want better land. This is my chalukah forever. This is my steyachuza. This is my inheritance. I'm going to go ahead and accept for my inheritance a monetary compensation where money goes out the window." That doesn't make any sense. So therefore, that can't be the shot in the brisa when they said there's going to be monetary compensation. Ella, what does it mean there's going to be monetary compensation? The kroiva urechoika, the ones who are close to Yerushalayim and the ones who are far to Yerushalayim. So in terms of quality of land, you're not going to get monetary compensation. You'll get equal quality of land. Some, but the compensation is you can't make it up. The person who's farther away from Yerushalayim, the part that's closer to Yerushalayim. So the one that's farther away will be compensated for his distance. And now, what do they get? According to Pashat Pshat over here, they get money. It says, in fact, it's machlekes tanoim. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, as we just said, with money, you'll go ahead and compensate them for their distance. Rabbi Yeshua Omer bekarka helua. No, they'll give them more karka. They'll give them more karka. For in the schalka ela begoyrol, shenemar ach begoyrol. And it says that what the Brisa says, it's divided only with the goyrol. What? Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Hana. Again, so it says that, but by the goyrol, it's divided. It says ach begoyrol. Now, ach means there's a miyut, meaning there's some people who will not get al yedei goyrol, guys. There's some people who will not get al yedei goyrol. Ach begoyrol, yatsu yeshuv v'kalev. This would go ahead and exclude yeshuv v'kalev. Now, what does it mean exclude? It means they don't get it all, or they don't get al yedei goyrol. Lamai, ilamid le shakel klal. If you can tell me they don't receive it all, hashta delav did who shakel? Did who mi boy? We saw earlier in this parak, they received the share of the meraglim, correct? So if they receive the share of meraglim, certainly they're going to get their own. So there's no svara to say that they don't get it all, right? Obviously, they must get. They must get, because listen, they got the share of meraglim. Alachas kam v'kama, they're going to get their own share. So you know what it means? Ela shlei natlu b'goyrol, ela al pi Hashem. They received their chalukah not al yedei goyrol, but through the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave it them directly. But now, why do we say Yeshua? Why did Yeshua? How do you know he got from HaKadosh Baruch Hu d'chsiv? Right? Al pi Hashem nasnu loi esair, through the mouth of Hashem, he was given the city. Asher shol es Timnas Serach Bahar Ephraim. The city of Timnas Serach Bahar Ephraim. Names are important. Timnas Serach, Amid Beis. Ksiv Serach. In Yeshua it says Serach. Ukasiv, and in Shaitim it says Timnas Cheres. So the word obviously is reversed. Serach Cheres. Serach means lashon of sirchan, means lashon of being ruined. Cheres is the lashon of Cheres can mean hard or can mean the sun. Amar Belaza, B'tchila Peruseha Kecheres. Initially, before Yeshua received it, the Perus were hard, like Cheres. Well, when Yeshua received it, Peruser Masrichim. They were mamish masrichin from their fatness. The fruit was so lush. So lashon of, thus the name change. Pikudiyami betchila masrichin. Initially, they were so fruitful that they got spoiled. They hardened a little bit, and therefore they got a little better. So either way, the fruit's going to be good. I thought it was a medrash. I found it in a Rashi. Timna serach. It means the tmuna. Timna means the tmuna. Serach of a son. Timna scheres. That on Yeshua's keva, there was the picture of a son. And it said, Chaval ala odom shehemina achama umutal bekever. Woe is to the man who went ahead and stopped the sun, as in Sefer Yeshua, the tremendousness of stopping the sun, of Shemesh b'Gvedon b'Yalon, that he stopped the sun. So Timna Serach, there was a tmuna of a cheres, of Timna Cheres, of the sun, on his kever, and it said, woe is to the man who stopped the sun, as mutal bekever. Kalev, how do you know Kalev received Shleya al Yedei the Gairol? Why does it say Dichsiv? Vayitnu the Kalev, and Kalev received. Vayitnu the Kalev, es Chevron, he got Chevron, Kasheti be Moshe. But Yorish Mishom Shlosha ben Yanok. Well, we know that Kalev went to daven and he spared himself by the Avos, that he should not be influenced by the Meraglim. So he went and he got that, and he got there was the giants that lived there, the Kiryat Arba. Chevron is Ir Miklat Havi. Fred the Gemara. How can you tell me he received the city of Chevron? Chevron was an Ori Miklat, and Ori Miklat was not owned by anybody. It was the city usually of Levium, as a matter of fact. So Rabbi says he didn't receive the Chevron proper, but he received Pavaroha. He received the villages, the suburbs of Chevron. That's what he see. That's what was given to Kalev. But not Chevron itself. Chevron itself was an Ori Miklat. The Chsiv esteo ir es chatzei reha nasan l'kalev ben Yefuna b'kusasai. He received the spot as a chelik. It says the Mishnah. Now, it's funny. The Mishnah seems to be simple, but it's not. The opening statement: Echad ben ve'echad abas benachla. Now, that's a very ambiguous statement. How are they equal? What does that mean? They're equal. They're not equal. The ben gets before the bas, correct? So what does it mean? They're equal. Now, usually it says Ella, and now you tell me a din, and it has to do with the ben and the bas, correct? What's the din? Ella, what does it tell us? Shaben noitel pishnayim benichsei ha'eim, ve'ena noitel pishnayim benichsei ha'av, ve'ena noitel shnayim benichsei ha'eim. That the ben who gets the Yerusha of pishnayim gets it only in the father's chelik, but not in the mother's chelik. So Ella means you're talking about the kids. And Ella, now you're telling me a din in the mother and the father's chelik. That doesn't flow. The Ella doesn't flow. It should be that you told me a din that's unique to the mother and the father's chelik, and then the Ella. So the Gemara is going to have a problem with that. So guys, in statement A, we're going to have 4 pshatim, and only the 4th one will answer that question of Ella. If you're speaking about kids, why do you go ahead and bring in the mother and the father? Good. It doesn't make any sense. And the next din for Abanis Nizoinis, that din of the Tanai Ksuba, that the girls, as long as they're living in the father's house, eat from the estate, is only Menichsei Av. It's only from the Chasim of the father. They don't eat the mother. So again, clause A, the son and the daughter are equal. We don't know what that means. But in the Chasim of the mother and the father, they only get Pishnayim, and the father is not the mother. We're not discussing the mother and the father. Ella would mean Ella have something to do with them. My echad ben ve'echad abas. What exactly does clause A mean? Lenachla. What does that mean? If you're going to tell me that they both equally inherit simultaneously, Hatanan, we learned ben koiden labas. The ben comes before the son. Guys, not only does the ben come before the son, but kol yetzi yirecha shall ben koiden labas. Did I say the ben before the son? I'm sorry. The ben comes before the daughter, right? The son comes before the daughter. Not only does the son come before the daughter, but all the descendants, direct blood descendants of the son come before the daughter. We said a granddaughter would receive before the daughter, right? That was the tzedaikim. The daughter of a son will receive before the nifta's own daughter. So the granddaughter will receive before the daughter. So you can't tell me that Ben and Bas can't mean that they're yarsi, that they inherit simultaneously. It makes no sense. That can't what it means. So the simon over here is nafsham. The simon over here is the people who are going to give a teretz. The first one is Rav Nachman. The second one is Rav Papa, and the next one is I think Shmuel, and the next one is Rav Ashi, and the final one is Marva Rav Ashi. So let's see what we got. Rav Nachman Yitzchak. Okay, that's the nun in Navsham. Hachi Kamar. Here's what the clause means. Echer ben ve'echer abas noitlim beroi kibim mochsek. Okay, when in other words, when there is no son and a woman inherits and a daughter inherits, when there's a son, of course the son inherits. When there's no son and the daughter inherits, both of them will inherit beroi, what's futures. They'll both inherit futures, not only mochsek. Again, this is not, says the Gemara, 1 second. If that's what the Mishnah is coming to tell me, we said that already. We said that already. Where did we see that? Hanami Tanina, Benois Slavchod, Notlu Shloisha Chalakim. Benois Slavchod, they received 3 Chalakim. Benachla. Chelik Avihen, they received Slavchod Chelik, Shahaya Miyotzim Mitzrayim, V'chelkoi im Achiv B'nichse Chefer, and the Chelik of Slavchod's brothers in the Nechasim of Chefer. Fellas, Slavchod predeceased Chefer. Good. Now, that's Roy. They're going to inherit Slavchod Bekever. In other words, here's 4 brothers. One of them is Slavchod, right? Slavchod dies. Chefer, the father, dies. The Benos Slavchod are going to inherit with these 3 guys. Why are they going to inherit? Because they inherit Bekever. That's called Roy. It never came to Slavchod. That's obviously Roy. So why are you telling me that this Mishnah, we learned that already by saying in the last Mishnah that Benois Slavchod inherited the chelik of Slavchod that he inherited from Chefer, since Slavchod predeceased Chefer wasn't Muchsik. It was Roy. Guys, you with me? So it was Roy. So how in the world could you tell me, you don't need to tell me this. You don't need to tell me this. My Ella, guys, this doesn't answer the question of Ella. Ella, you're taking the Nichsei Aim. We're not discussing the Nichsei Aim. You understand? We're not discussing the Nichsei Aim. You didn't answer the second question. You didn't answer the Ella. Ella Amrav Papa. Okay, you dealt with the Nun. That was Nav Nachman. Let's do Navshon. Let's deal with the Pei of Papa. Ella Amrav Papa. Haki Kamar. Echad Haben. The Echad Abbas. Noitlik Chela B'Bechoira. Echad Haben. Whether it's the ben, or whether it's the bas, they're going to be noitnul chelik. They'll be noitnul chelik what bechayra. They'll go ahead and noitnul chelik. Whatever their father, the bechor, received, they'll get. In other words, the father is a bechor. He gets pishnayim. If there's no son, the daughter will inherit that as well. It doesn't mean there's no such thing as a bechayra, right? Guys, no such thing as a female bechayra. What it means is when a bechor inherits, he bequeaths it the same to the daughter if there's no son, just the same as he bequeaths it to the son. Good? Fred the Gemara, Hanabi Tanina, Rapap, if that's your teretz, we also learned that already. What did we learn? Right? They took 2 chalakim. It's a Slavchod. Slavchod was a bechor. And they received it. So what do you see? That a girl, the Benois Slavchod, received Slavchod's chelek that he received from Chefer as the Bechar. How are we doing, guys? Again, we have a clause, Echad Eben ve'Echad Abbas Benachla, where we don't know what that means. We attempted to say it means what? That they get Beroi. That was already stated in the last Mishnah. Rav Papa wants to say that they inherit their father, the Bechar. That also was stated in the last Mishnah, right? It's right. It's the last Mishnah. We said they got 3 chalakim. One of the chalakim was the bechayra of what? Of Slavchod. V'oid, my Ella. And the same thing. You didn't answer the Ella. You didn't answer why you bring in the mother and the father for discussing the kids. Ella Amar Avashi, a 3rd attempt. This is the Shin in Nafsham. Ella Amar Avashi, Hachi Kamar. Echad ben habanim. The Echad bas ben habanois. Im Amar Yiresh kol nechasai. We're going to see later on an opinion of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika, fellas. Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika is of the opinion that a man is able to go ahead and pick out his Yairish. Not b'matana, but he's able to go ahead. As long as you are royally Yerusha, he's able to give everything to that child. if he gives everything to the daughter, he can give everything to the daughter. So that's when it says Echad ben ve'echad bas. That's what Rav Ashi wants to say. Echad ben ve'echad bas. You're able to go ahead. Look at the Rashbam. Imama Yirish kol nichsei devarav kayamin. Choyel ba Yerusha. Since it's the ba Yerusha, b'miktsas. B'nafkleimin vayomin chilu es banav. Shemal chilu banav kamashi yirtza. You can give them whatever you want. V'hanu diktani echad ben ve'echad bas. Dinam shava. Sheyachal ha'av lahankel kol nechasim le'echad min ha'achim. Or la'achs min ha'choyos. Heichen dein ben. In other words, you can't be masna mashakasa b'toira. Guys, you can't give it to the daughter if the son is alive. If I have sons and daughters, so I can pick out one of the sons. If I have only daughters, I can pick out one of the daughters. So that's what it means. Echad ben ve'echad bas, regarding this din of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika that you could give to the Yerusha, they're the same. They're the same. That's the opinion of Rav Ashi, that the cryptic clause of Echad ben ve'echad bas ben nachla is not referring to Roi, it's not referring to Bechayra, it's referring to this special Tanai, that a gift he can go ahead and give to a Bay Irish, as long as, to girls, as long as no boy around. That's what Rav Ashi wants to answer. Okay? So what does the Gemara say? Hakatani lala kaman. We learn this later on. Kiman. Who did you say this din according to? Right? Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika. Hakatani lala kaman. What's this Mishnah have to tell us? We're gonna learn it later on. Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika Aimer. And Omar, if a person says that this person, one of my Yarshim, should get everything, Al Misha Royal Yarsha, as long as he's royal to Yarish, is right. If he's a son between the sons or a daughter between the daughters, so if that's the case, then what? Then what's our Mishnah over here saying? Al Misha in Royal Yarsha in Dvaru Kayam. But if he says it's a stranger, then it doesn't mean anything. Now, so that's the kasha. How can you, Rav Ashi, say that's pshat over here in this Mishnah if it's first stated in the next Mishnah? So obviously the Mishnah over here must not be talking about that. So the Gemara attempts something else. Maybe over here it said, anonymously, a stam Mishnah, Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika. So we'll have a stam v'achach machloikis. Says the Gemara, stam v'achach machloikis. He was stam v'achach machloikis. Ein halacha kestam. It's Rebbe's way of telling us that what, that the halacha is not like Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika. So this is talking the meaning of echad haben v'echad habas benachla. Is this ambiguous statement of what over Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika later on, and the reason why it was stated over here cryptically, it's an anonymous meaning that it means the same thing. But why would you do that? Stam machloikis, the halacha is not like that. So, and in addition, v'oid ella. What? You didn't answer the ella. You didn't answer why you're bringing mother and father when we're discussing children. Ella Amar Mabar Avashi. Guys, here's the fourth and final teretz in the Nafsham, and this is the one that's going to stay. Ella Amar Mabar Avashi. Hachi Kamar. Echad ben ve'echad bas. So whether when the son inherits or the daughter inherits when there's no men or when no sons around, shavin b'nichsei ha'eim or b'nichsei ha'av. They're both equal regarding what? Inheriting the mother and inheriting the father. And now you're discussing the mother and the father, correct? Once you're discussing the mother and the father, the Ella makes sense. So again, this is the one that remains, guys. So look back in the Mishnah. Echad ben ve'echad bas. Both the son and the daughter benachla are equal, whether they're inheriting their father or inheriting their mother, they're equal. Right? Ella shabed noitel pishnayim nechsei ha'av. The din of Bechor is only in nechsei ha'av, noitel pishnayim nechsei ha'aim. And the second halacha is that the girls inherit only the nechsei ha'av are mechuyev in mezainos. The nechsei ha'aim are not mechuyev to pay the mezainos. So now the Mishnah flows very beautifully, right? The first clause outside, guys. The first clause is stating echad ben ve'echad bas in the nechasim of the father, or if the mother dies, they both inherit the mother, just like they inherit the father. But two differences. One, the din of bechar of pishnayim is only in the fathers, and the din of supporting the daughters from the estate is only in the father's nachla and not in the girl's nachla. So it says the Gemara, ve'echad bas b'nichseim ella shaben noitel pishnayim b'nichsei ha'av ben noitel pishnayim b'nichsei ha'eim. You don't take pishnayim b'nichsei ha'eim.